Hi, I'm janevelezmitchell with Jane Unchained. And please, you guys got to stop talking.
Computer problems.
Quiet on that.
Computer problems.
All right, guys.
It might be easier to do it without it.
Hey, Bobby, you can't tell her.
Yes.
She can't talk because it's coming off. Since we can hear you, when she's talking, it's coming off of what.
Okay.
Thank you, my dear.
Okay.
All right, so. Hi, I'm Jane Velez-Mitchell. Wait a second. Yeah. Hi, I'm Jane Velez-Mitchell for Jane Unchained, and we have been following the continuing story of the ferocious legal battle in Hendry County, Florida, over this proposed breeding facility. Now, I want to go to Bobby Henderson. Bobby Henderson. I want to go straight out to Bobby Henderson. Bobby Henderson is a former police officer in the area. She is also a former school teacher, and she has taken it upon herself to go to the Hendry County Commission, the most recent hearing, and ask the commissioners questions right now about what.
Lift her up here.
Hey,
lift her up.
Hold on,
I'm sorry, my dear. Tell Jessica not to speak. Not to speak.
Okay.
I have to start from this top because she's talking and we keep leading over. Tell her just not to speak.
Okay. Gotcha. She hears. She's right here. She heard me.
Okay. We're going to start from the top. If anybody's watching this on Google Hangout, I hope they're enjoying the fun of watching us jerry-rig this. But this is, this is how it has to be. We can't. It's not that easy. We're dealing with new, changing technology. Jane Velez-Mitchell for Jane Unchained, and we've been following the continuing story of the ferocious legal battle in Hendry County over a proposal to bring in 3,200 monkeys to breed them for excruciating laboratory experimentation. People in the community are up in arms. They said they weren't told about this. There's been a lawsuit filed on behalf of some local residents, and I want to go out now to a former police officer and a former school teacher, Bobby Henderson, who is leading the fight down there in Southwest Florida against this monkey facility. So, Bobby Henderson, I want you to tell me what happened when you went to the Hendry County Commission. Tell me the entire story. You went there and confronted the commissioners. What happened?
About 7 of us went out there yesterday to close. It's about an hour drive from where we were. I spoke for the group. Only one of us was allowed to speak out of the group of 7. So I got up and spoke. The first thing I said to the commissioners was, do any of you approve of animal cruelty and animal torture? I looked them right in the eye. I got no response from them. A couple of them looked down, a couple of them looked away. But nothing was going on as far as positive, negative, anything. It was just there. And so I started out by telling them that because they have approved this facility to be built in Hendry County, that they have told the world that they do approve of animal torture. Because now it's on the web, it's worldwide, activists are chiming in from all over the world. And so the focus is on these 5 people who have approved this facility pretty much under the table without any public hearings, and that's why I believe it's ALDF has filed this lawsuit against them. I proceeded to tell them, as I only had 3 minutes, what goes on in this type of a facility. I mean, allegedly it's a breeding facility, but you don't know what goes on in there because no one's allowed into the facility. It's a private thing. Jane, you were out there with us last week. We couldn't even get to it. We were in the vicinity, and it's the pictures that have been sent to the press have huge tall barbed wire fences, surveillance cameras, no trespassing signs, you will be arrested, and it goes on and on. And so I told the commissioners that the monkeys supposedly are going to be bred there, but you don't know what goes on. There could be torture going on in there, terrible experiments, no oversight. I explained the public health issue that is so close to Lee County. You can see Lee County from this facility. Let loose from these facilities all the time, and they do not have to report the escapes. And monkeys can travel for miles. Inherently, they carry like herpes and different diseases. Their bites are terrible. I mean, I'm a huge animal lover, but I'm not a big fan of monkeys. And I explained that if it indeed is a breeding facility, animals are sold to laboratories where horrendous experiments go on. They're small cages. They're subjected to having bolts drilled into their heads. They're in horrible restraint, sometimes months on end. They go through surgeries with no anesthesia. And it's horrendous what happens to these animals. To my knowledge, only 2 universities in the United States anymore do live animal testing. One, I believe, is in Berkeley, California, and I'm not sure where the other one is. And I try to open the eyes of these people. Basically, this is a big money operation. I mean, there's money in the facility, it's contracting. There's money in the fencing, in the surveillance, in the cages, in the restraints, in the shipping, in the selling of the monkeys. It's a huge money-making proposition, and nobody knows who's behind the money. I mean, you yourself tried to get with Pam Bondi, the Secretary or the Attorney General in the state of Florida. She's not talking. There's no corporation that we determined registered with the state of Florida behind this. Is buried under, like, what, I think you had 6 or 7 layers of different people is buried under. It's P.O. boxes and who knows where, and nobody's responsible. I asked the commissioners if they had a contingency plan if one of the monkeys escaped. It's in a very heavily wooded with palmettos that we have in Florida that are terrible bushes. You get cut and scraped every time you go into them. And you can hide 1,000,000 places in a palmetto with a small animal. It could be caught if an animal gets loose. I again asked them if any tax dollars were, or tax credits were given toward this facility, because that's public. And initially when I first got up to speak, they said there would be no public comment from the commissioners because it's in litigation. And I kept looking at these people who had stoic looks on their faces through this whole time. It seemed more than 3 minutes, but I just went on and on to keep asking them what is going on, because you will not be able to get into this facility. Nobody can get in. And I further asked them, Jane, when you and I and several people went out there last week, we were followed by an unmarked Hendry County Sheriff's car, and a very nice deputy, and he followed us right to close to where the site is. Again, you and I did not see where the site is because we couldn't get there. But and then once we arrived in the vicinity, a helicopter circled us for the entire approximately 45 minutes we were there. And I asked the deputy, and I asked the commissioners point blank yesterday, was this a Hendry County Sheriff's helicopter? The deputy told me that they do not have a helicopter at the Hendry County Sheriff's Department. So I said, was it a Lee County Sheriff's helicopter? And he said he didn't know, although it was green and white, which are our colors down here. I called some of our county commissioners while we were at the site, and they haven't been able to ascertain anything. It could have been from the people that own the facility themselves. I mean, they're so paranoid about people breaking into this place and stopping it. The people that are involved with me are not crazy people. I mean, we're educated professionals. Some of us retired. One of our group is a PhD. Another one was married to a legal person, is married to a legal person. And, we're not out to break into facilities. We're taxpayers. We're health conscious. We're concerned that this facility is going to, one, hurt animals, severely hurt animals. That's bringing basically no economic benefit as far as jobs to Hendry County. I think they were sold a bill of goods like they're supposed to get 50 jobs or something. Historically, these facilities go into economically deprived areas, and they sell the people a bill of goods that, oh, we're going to, all kinds of jobs and this and that. This is in a very remote area. And again, historically, people that work in these facilities end up with psychological problems from seeing the trauma these poor animals go through. It's a very traumatic experience to work in one of these organizations. I just explained to the judge, I said, I was a police officer, I'm a retired teacher. I'm not some wacko that's going to go out and burn cars and break into places. That's not what we're here about. We're here about openness in government, transparency transparency, obeying the Sunshine Law, and not trying to sneak through some seedy alleged breeding facility that's going to hurt animals. And one man that, when you and I were out there last week, one man that lives close came over and said he was having to sell his house cheaply to get out because he was afraid. This is a really remote area. We had to go down, what, a couple of miles of dirt roads. I mean, it's on a dead-end road. It's really out there. And because it's on the far eastern side of Hendry County, it would take 45 minutes probably to get a deputy out there, because it's not in Lee County, it's right across the border. So if an incident happened, Hendry County would take a long time to get there. And I've contacted our county commissioners here in Lee County, because it needs to be a public health concern for Lee County because it's so close. And one of them assured me that he was looking into it. I mean, this is a big deal, and we understand this morning, I guess, that there's another facility they've under the table approved over there. I mean, this is backdoor Southern good old boy smoky room politics at its worst, and we're trying to put a stop to it. That's all we're about. We want transparency, and we want to know what is going on.
I have to ask you a question. Put the phone up. Okay, we're going to wrap it up soon, but my whole thing is, you talked to the Hendry County commissioners. They were there, right? This was
Yes.
Did they answer any of your questions?
No, but they did. I want to say the reaction of one of them.
Put your phone down and answer it. Just,
Okay.
Then we got to wrap it up. But that was very good. Thank you.
Okay.
Put the phone down.
The Hendry County commissioners did not say anything when I finished my speech, and it was pretty impassioned. But one of them, the chairman, did give some hand finish silence in the room. I mean, dead silence. The commissioners didn't know what to do, and the chairman put his hand up to his brow and wiped his brow and went, "Oh my, oh my." So I really think I got their attention. And I think our presence there gave them something to think about, because some of the people who came out of the room said we had no idea what was going on. We had no idea. Nobody's telling us anything. Well, we're here to tell people. That's what we're about. We're here to enlighten the public.
Thank you, Bobby. Thank you so much. Bobby, you did a great job.
Okay.
So very much, and we'll tell you when this is up. We're going to. I need the picture of you when you were a police officer. You know, you said, yeah. And I want to ask you, are you?
I'll send it in about 2 minutes.
Going to go to the next hearing?